Hey everybody, this is Leung from Own Real Estate. Today we're gonna help you hit 6 figures or more in your first year in real estate. How are we gonna do that? We're gonna break down the specific numbers from the day-to-day activities all the way to the net profit of how much you wanna make, which in this video, we're gonna teach you how to make $100,000 or more. Stay tuned. And if this is the first time you're joining our channel, a little background about ourselves is we run Own Real Estate here in San Mateo County. We're ranked top 25 teams in all of the San Francisco Bay Area. Last year, our 10 agents sold over $170 million in volume. And this year, we're already at $170 million, and we have a couple months to go. So when most people jump into real estate, they hear the infamous statistic, 86 to 87% attrition rate. And that credits to how easy it is to get your license. Well, you stumbled upon a good video today because I'm gonna give you the specifics on what activities you should be executing on a daily basis once you're licensed, so we can ensure your first 12 months of activity as a full-time real estate agent, you can make $100,000. The truth is, in order for you to actually make or exceed $100,000 in net income your first year in real estate, you're gonna have to work really hard. In our industry, there's such a thing that you've heard me say before if you've seen our other videos, that of delayed gratification. What you do today, you're not gonna necessarily get a result at the end of the day. Building relationships takes time. Just because you have a really good conversation today, it means nothing for actually closing an escrow today. That relationship might turn into an escrow, however, 3, 6, 12 months later, but also you have to make sure you employ follow-up procedures to keep top of mind for your client to remember you as the person to reach out to when they have a buying or selling need. And it just so happened today that during our YPN SamCar event, we were talking about goal setting for the next year. And I told people that joined the call that it really matters that you stop consuming what other people are doing and succeeding at on social, on YouTube, such as this video, because I'm gonna give you the real facts and numbers behind how to actually accomplish it. Most of the time, you're gonna see the fancy things, the accomplishments, the highlight reel of someone's career. Yet, deep down inside, you don't know what they do behind the scenes, the struggles, the conversations, the tough conversations they have with their team members, also their clients, the losses in contracts, the losses of clients because things just happen. So that's why today we're gonna give you a very realistic approach on how we can help you succeed step by step. So before we actually dive into the actual breakdown, you're gonna have to ask yourself a couple questions and know the answers for you to plug and play using our equation. The first you have to answer is, what's your average commission side in your area? For our area, it's 2.5%. For some other areas, it's 3%. And of course, in different areas that's super competitive, it might be less than 2.5%. The other piece of information you're going to need is your average sales price per buyer, per seller, or for your specific business. Let's say our average or our median in our location is about 1.7 million, where our average price point is closer to 1.2 million. This information you will need because as we plug and play these numbers, you want a more accurate estimate of what you're gonna have to do on a daily basis. The third is your conversion rates. How many calls does it take for you to get a contact? How many contacts do you have to make for you to be able to book an appointment? The more skillful you are, it takes less and less, which means you do less, but your conversion is higher, which ultimately influences how much you close, and of course, how much you earn at the end of the year. Now let's dive into the spreadsheet itself so you can see it. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna share a link so you can get the spreadsheet yourself to plug and play your numbers. So let's take a look at this. All the way at the top where it says net income per year, I've put in the infamous $100,000. Now, if you want to shoot higher, you'll be able to see that we can adjust this spreadsheet and everything else adjusts with it. But for the purpose of this example, we're gonna stay with $100,000. In the next section on line item number 3, you're gonna see gross income, because net income is after your split with your broker. And in my scenario here, I'm assuming you have an 80-20 split with your broker and it does not cap. Now, capping is a whole nother question and a whole nother topic altogether. If you haven't seen my video on picking the right brokerage, that might be a good one for you to explore. So in this example, if you want to net $100,000 and you have a 20% split with your broker per year, to get to the gross income, you divide it by 80% or 0.8, you're gonna need to have a gross commission income of $125,000 to be able to net $100,000 after paying your broker. And in our spreadsheet here as well, you'll be able to see that I added a split column in line item 4, just in case you're on a team and you could enter a 50-50 split, or you can enter a 60-40 split, however much you split with your team. For the example purpose, you're a solo agent, so you get 100% of the split, which means your gross commission income is still at $125,000. Now, next in line item number 5, our average commission in our area is 2.5%, which means if we take the gross commission income of $125,000 and divide it by 2.5% or 0.025, you're going to have to sell $5 million of real estate to be able to work all the way back up to netting $100,000. Next, this is where one of the pieces of information that we needed comes into play. What's your personal average sales price? Ours is, for example purposes, $1 million. And 5 million divided by 1 million means you need to close 5 escrows. And we're gonna continue working through the math. So now that we've established you need to close 5 escrows to be able to net $100,000, let's talk about the specific conversion percentages that you need to figure out for your specific business for you to be able to work your way all the way down to your daily activities of how many calls you need to make. So in our spreadsheet, we are assuming a 90% chance that you can close escrow, a 70% chance that when you write an offer, you get an offer accepted and in escrow, a 70% chance that when you tour property with clients, they'll start to write an offer, a 60% chance that when you actually meet with a client for a consultation, that they actually end up touring properties with you, and then a 75% chance that when you book an appointment, they actually will meet with you. All the way down to assuming it takes 50 contacts for you to be able to book 1 appointment, and we're gonna work ourselves back. So if you are to close 5 escrows, based on these percentages, you need to open 6 escrows. In order for you to open 6 escrows, you need to be writing offers for 8 clients. In order for you to get to the point of writing 8 offers for clients, you're gonna have to tour with 11 different people. And if you're gonna tour with 11 different people, that means you have had to have met with 19 different buyers to get to the point of touring. And of course, in order for you to actually meet people for an appointment, 19 specifically, you need to book 25 meetings to meet with clients. And now we're getting close to what you're gonna need to do for your daily activities. Assuming it takes 50 contacts to book an appointment, for you to have 25 booked appointments, you're going to need to make 1,260 contacts per year. And if there's a 1/4 pickup for calls to contacts, you're going to need to make 5,039 calls within a year. Per week, that equates to 97 calls. And per day, 5 days a week, that means you need to make 19 calls per day. And that is how you work the math backwards. Now in reverse, if you make 19 calls per day, you should be able to net $100,000 of income based on the conversion rates, based on the average commission split, based on the average price point in your market. And you're probably confused or questioning why we have the specific percentages of conversion in our spreadsheet. And the reason why is after 10 years of selling real estate, leading a team, and getting to the point of closing hundreds of transactions every year, I'm using these numbers based on my best judgment for a new agent on what they should expect. And it could only get better from the percentages that you see here. Some other things to note. In your market, depending on the price point, that might also influence your conversion rate. For example, in our market, the lower end price points tend to be less competitive than the more affluent high-end properties, estates, and neighborhoods. So your conversion rate, depending on what your target audience is going to fluctuate. And now let's say you want to double the goal of $100,000 to $200,000 for net in a year. Now you can see the math will obviously shift around for you to determine now you need to make 39 calls per day. Now, when I say 39 calls, you're also probably curious about what about FSBOs, expireds, open houses, door knocking, online leads that I generate, etc., etc., etc. All these lead types are going to have different conversion rates, and your skill set for each of these avenues of leads is going to be different. So you can apply this equation to each different type of lead, and then you should be able to come up with a number after adding it all together of where you want to land to net $100 or $1,000 or more. So the next time you walk into your office and you're talking to some of your colleagues and you tell them, hey, I want to make $100,000 a year. I need to make exactly 19 calls today. They're going to start asking you, how'd you come up with that number? And you'll be able to share with them this spreadsheet. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this helpful or confusing, comment below, and we look forward to creating more videos to help you in your real estate career. Thank you so much.